Oh, hello there. Yeah, well, that was windy, wasn't it? And it's going to be another windy one today. Yeah, I'm sure my cat's not going to like that very much. I do like the phrase got the wind up because it sure as hell applies to cats. Anyway, today I was intrigued, yesterday I was intrigued, in fact, by the news about the latest report on puberty blockers, which it was dutifully reported in the Daily Mail. It's come out of the Mayo Clinic. The basic problem with it is it hasn't been peer-reviewed, and it only looks at trans issues, and it doesn't look at other variables. So it will need to be peer-reviewed before that is kind of official, but it was a very useful contribution. Lots of people in the past have said to me, oh, being the type that you are, you're not interested in facts or science. Well, yeah, I really am, and I think that, if we're going to have a sensible discussion about the use of puberty blockers, we need to have a sensible discussion about the use of puberty blockers. One is always reminded of the notion that Adolf Hitler had about Jewish science, that he didn't particularly like various aspects of physics because it involved lots of Jewish people. It's not a good way to approach science. It's not a good way to approach gender issues, one might say. So we will see about that. I did have to smile at this in the in the Daily Mail. The study has not yet been peer-reviewed, but it has been endorsed by GeneSpect, a global advocacy group against medical transitions, Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, Benjamin Ryan, a prominent science writer, and others, yes, including Glinner, who dutifully pointed me to the Daily Mail article. But, it would be useful to have a sensible discussion, because if puberty blockers aren't going to work, then they need to not be used, certainly in terms of the cost-benefit analysis of them, if you like, on a blunt level. But our government, along with others, has just decided that they're not going to give them to certain groups of people, which isn't science, it's bias. That's kind of the way that works. And this very much I think, ties in with the other news around my job, if you like, in the sense that the NEU conference is going on, and the teachers at that conference are rightfully concerned about their pupils and rightfully concerned about crap legislation coming out of the government, or guidance coming out of the government, which again you will get the press jumping up and down about. The Daily Mail was saying that teachers have vowed to fight things. I don't think they have. Oh yeah, and teachers are activists now, by the way, of course. Love the use of that word. Yeah. Get rid of the adjectives, you get the story, put the adjectives in, it's propaganda. But yeah, I'd like, as a teacher, to be sure and certain as to what I need to do. It's kind of important in my job. I do actually want to do what is best for the young people in my care, be they cis or otherwise. Yesterday there was Camilla Toomey in the Daily Telegraph, who said trans ideology is pervasive as ever. Our children are the first victims. Not quite sure about that. But she said we need hard laws to safeguard school pupils, not mere guidance which teachers can seemingly ignore. I don't want to ignore it. I want to make sure that I'm not going to do the wrong thing. And I need evidence-based and rationally thought-out procedures. Not the idea that the Equalities Minister has simply been rung up by Sex Matters, now a charity, and been told what to do. Because all of the noise that's out there is telling me that I should, in fact, act like Kevin Lister. But you may notice that what happened to Kevin Lister was that he got fired simply because he was presumably led to believe that he could be an enormous bigot at work. We'll do some more about this next week, because there's some very interesting, not necessarily bigots, cases coming up, but certainly people that are absolutely convinced that they can act in a certain way at work because all of the media is telling them they can. Anyway, let's have a nice, sensible, adult, grown-up conversation about the use of puberty blockers, but it'll have to be applied to precocious puberty as well, because, drumroll, science fans, drugs can't tell what gender you think you are. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. That might be regarded as, Jewish science. Anyway, do have a lovely Sunday if you can do. Get out to church if you want, or don't if you want. For me, I don't know. I need to get on and do things today in a terms of researchy, getting on, trying to write things way. Do have a lovely one.